All right, delighted to say Brendan Kealy joins me in studio now. Brendan, very good afternoon to you. How are things?
How are you doing? All good, thanks.
Congratulations, I guess is where we start. People might not know, but Kilcullen had a very good win at the weekend in the Kerry Intermediate Championship, back up to senior level straight away.
We did, yeah. We got relegated from senior for the first time in over 20 years there about 6 months ago and played the intermediate final on Sunday, and yeah, thankfully came out the right side before, so we're delighted.
Still playing, obviously in the club capacity. It's, I guess, when you look at the weather last weekend and you see some great championship matches, particularly in New York, I wonder, is there part of you thinking you'd love to be putting on the Kerry jersey again this year?
Yeah. Like, I think no matter what age you are or whatever, you'll always miss the big championship days. That's what it's all about. That's why you start playing football. But no, I've loved getting back involved with the club this year, getting stuck in 100% there, and thankfully it's after paying off so far, even though it's still early in the year, the way the championship is this year. So no, just enjoying my football now, yeah.
I was going to ask, what have you been getting up to with all the free time since you're not an inter-county footballer anymore, but it's pretty obvious. I mean, you've gone straight into inter-county coaching. Yeah.
Don't think my wife would tell you there's much free time now still anyway. But the opportunity came along with Offaly there over the winter to start working with the goalkeepers up there as the goalkeeper coach, and it's something I've always enjoyed doing, the goalkeeper work myself and also the coaching side of it. So I jumped at it. My mother's from Offaly as well, so there was strong family ties, and we've championship coming up now and just enjoying the journey now, and getting stuck into the Leinster Championship for a change. Yeah,
absolutely. We'll get into that in just a moment, but I just want to start with last year for the time being. So I don't think we've actually had you on the show since last year, because I think it came out of the blue for a lot of people, you leaving the Kerry panel last year. Like, what was the whole decision behind that?
Yeah, I suppose, look, it was just time, and I just felt like it was the right time, and look, that was last year. I'm conscious now that Kerry are preparing now for the 2018 championship, and that type of thing. So that was just a decision I came to last year. And for a lot of people, maybe the timing might have been a bit strange, but just in my own head, the timing was right for all, so.
Look, so I was just trying to rack my brains about who are the other all-stars in the country who've actually retired before. Well, I wouldn't say retired, you stepped away before, say, age has caught up with them or before a serious injury. And I would hazard a guess that you're potentially the only person in the country with an all-star who decided voluntarily to step away from inter-county football. Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I don't know, personally, I wouldn't be one for just, looking to see what's been done before and following suit. That was just... Sure. It was just something in my own head, and look, it's the way I wanted to go, and that's the way it's panned out. So whether it's the first or not the first, I'm not too sure.
I'm sure you look back on your time with Kerry with huge fondness, though.
Jeez, I loved it. Sure, like that's why we all started playing down there. Is to get to the big days, to get to All-Ireland finals and stuff like that, and to put on the Kerry jersey in general. Like, a huge honour, a huge privilege, and something that was never taken for granted at all. So it's only good memories you look back on it all.
And I'm sure it's something you're very proud of because of the whole transition. Everybody talked about transition. I think the conveyor belt is certainly something that nobody will forget after Kieran Donaghy's initial post-match speech in 2014, that essentially this was a brand new team that had gone a number of years without winning an All-Ireland, and then 2014 arrives and you managed to get Sam Maguire back to Kerry. Like, it'd be stupid of me to ask for a highlight, because I presume that year in 2014, although the following year you get an All-Star, are surely kind of a 24-month period there where things are very, very rosy in your own footballing career. Yeah, that was obviously one of the highlights. You look back, different days, like the Munster final days were always big days as well, especially in Killarney, big occasions, big crowds, and always a good game as well. So it's hard to pick out one, but I suppose like that period you mentioned there was sweet, because I suppose there wasn't a whole lot expected of the team around that time. The talk, was that we're on the wane, there's not much expectation at all, and then to come out and do what we did, I suppose, made it all the sweeter, and I suppose you can never really write a Kerry team off. That's what it showed to a lot of people, I suppose. And it's remarkable as well when you talk about people writing Kerry teams off. Yeah, we can always talk about Joe Brawley and people like that, but quite often it's people within the county as well.
Yeah, well, I suppose like it's one of the drivers of success down there as well. Like, there is expectation, and nothing but the best is accepted, which I suppose overall is a good thing. It has to be managed as well, but and dealt with. But I think it'd be a worse sign of things if there was no expectation around the place and people were just happy with with getting to an All-Ireland quarter-final or All-Ireland semi-final. So I suppose you have to look at it and look at it. That's a good thing. The high demands are a sign of success.
For sure, and high demands never allow something like transition or a period of building to ever come into the thinking, but that's essentially what there is now in Kerry. I mean, there isn't an expectation from the county board to win an All-Ireland straight away, but as you well know, there's going to be an expectation, as I've seen firsthand in the terraces during the league campaign this year, to win every single match. And this transitional period that they've now entered into, which may provide more All-Ireland medals than we've ever seen, potentially, because this is the greatest set of minors football has potentially ever seen, there is just no room for manoeuvre over these next 2 years, is there? So there's going to be high pressure on that to keep expectations in check.
Yeah, I suppose there will, but look, there's no better setup and no better county, in my opinion, to deal with that. You know, it's happened before throughout the years, and it'll no doubt happen again. You know, things go in peaks and troughs. Not that it's a trough or anything at the moment, but like you say, when new faces come into a panel, it does take time in any sport, any team. It takes a bit of time to bed in, but like I think, in my opinion, from what I saw of it, like, because I was tied up with Offaly a lot, I didn't see a whole lot of it, but on the face of it seemed like a pretty good league campaign by them. You know, a lot of new players looked at, hold the Division 1 status. You know, that's all you can ask for in a league campaign, really, when you look at so many new faces, really. I
was reluctant to call you a retired goalkeeper there earlier on. Is it definitely over when it comes to Kerry for you?
Look, like I said, I took that decision last year, and I'm happy where I'm at now. So I don't believe in the word retired in general anyway, in any walk of life. So yeah.
So you've mentioned you're happy with where you're at now, which is with Offaly, and I guess it's an interesting place when you look at the fact that you're a goalkeeping coach now, and I guess, what age are you now, 32 years old at this point, and if you go back to where goalkeeping was at when you first got between the sticks, it's an art form that's developed hugely over that decade or 2 decades.
Yeah, it's come on leaps and bounds, like, and it's been brilliant, I think, because it used to frustrate me at times when I was younger, where the job of the goalkeeper was to watch the ball sailing over their head and put it down and pump it out 60 yards, and that was the role over and over again. So I think it's a great thing that the responsibility has increased on the goalkeeper. You know, they're an integral part of the team, if not the most integral part of the team, because that's where the majority of possession comes from in a game. So, and with the rules ever changing with kickouts and stuff like that, and you know, the role, it's evolved so much in the last years, but it's been brilliant, and it's something that I've enjoyed and still do enjoy, still playing, you know, evolving that role and, you know, taking on the different aspects of it.
So what are you teaching, or what are you helping to coach when you're in training in the inter-county setup? Is it mostly shot stopping, or is it more of a focus now on the kickouts?
Yeah, it's a mixture. Like, I suppose the whole kickouts thing is a whole team thing. Like, that's not just between the goalkeeper coach and the goalkeepers. Like, you have to have the whole team on that, and coaches and management and everything. Yeah, then there's goalkeeper specific stuff, like kind of the more technical stuff, the shot stopping, the footwork, the high balls and stuff. So we focus a lot on that stuff, the kind of the nitty gritty of it, I suppose. And then you're going back into the whole team setup and doing whatever work on, be it kickouts or defensive structures, attacking structures, whatever it may be. Yeah.
It must be, in a certain way, a little bit easier to be a goalkeeper in terms of the mental sense now, in terms of keeping yourself switched on, because, as you've mentioned there, they are now kind of part of the whole team dynamic. It's not so much pull the goalkeeper away to the side and put the goalkeeper and the sub-goalkeeper kicking the ball to each other for 10 minutes and leave them separate to the conversation. They are a real part. It is a 1-15 game now.
Yeah, hugely so. And the goalkeeper has to be a good footballer now as well, with the ball in hand. Like, you're seeing it now, there's goalkeepers who are like an extra attacker now in certain games. So that's another evolution of the position. And so yeah, it's vital to get the balance right between, like, having the specific goalkeeper work done, and then obviously the football work with the rest of the team, you know, to have those skills up to scratch as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's Wicklow this weekend. It's obviously a huge game in the context of where Offaly are hoping to go. It's one that a lot of people will be expecting you to win. I'm sure there's always going to be pressure when you come from an Offaly team playing against Wicklow, because obviously, in terms of tradition, Offaly trumps Wicklow pretty much every day of the week, with no disrespect to Wicklow. I mean, do you still feel that in Offaly, that it's been so long since there has been a true All-Ireland contender, but at the same sense there is that, like, idea of history around the place? Yeah,
like, there is a sense of tradition around the place, and you can't buy that. Like, you know, tradition, it gives a great platform to build on, but at the same time, tradition counts for nothing when you're there on a championship day, and, you know, and the ball is being thrown in. So it's something that can be used in the right way. All you have to do is, you walk into Kilcormac and you're seeing pictures of very, very successful Offaly teams down through the years. Of course, the Seamus Darby picture is up there as well, but look, that's fine too. And yeah, so but like I say, that tradition counts for nothing. Next Sunday, Wicklow aren't going to be talking about the tradition in Offaly or anything like that. We won't be either. The game is there. There'll be nothing between the teams. So, and just looking forward to the Leinster Championship game. Yeah,
absolutely. And just kind of on the last point, then it's the story that's kind of dominated the headlines from an Offaly perspective this week has been the situation with Cian Johnson, that he's not going to play with the seniors. And if you had told me that player X isn't going to play for County Y because of this exact reason, I would have said that's definitely Dublin or that's definitely Kerry, because not that they don't need the player, but because they can afford to think about the future a little bit more. It's quite long-sighted in a very good way by Offaly here. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I suppose, look, it's something I've been very kind of adamant that my own role within the setup is working with the goalkeepers, and I haven't been asking too many questions around or what else is going on within the setup. So it was news to me as well. And look, the most important thing is Cian Johnson as the player at the middle of it all, and what's best for him and his development, and that's the decision that's been taken. And they're the cards that we have to play with now. And we've a panel of players there who's been training for a number of months now, and that's what we take with us on Sunday and see where that takes us, Yeah,
well, I'm sure he's going to have a bright future in the Offaly jersey no matter what year he does eventually play for the seniors. 250 miles, I understand, Killarney to Kilcormac. That's what you're commuting to do this gig?
Yeah, something like that, yeah, give or take a bit of traffic as well.
That's pretty... We might look into this to see if that is the longest commute that's currently being done in the GAA. Brendan Kealy, great to catch up. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.